So here we are, a live stream start today, and it's a beautiful day here in Indianapolis. How are you doing today, Ryan?
I'm doing great. It's beautiful in St. Louis too. I think it's finally warming up. We get spurts of cold and hot and cold and hot, which makes great tornado weather. But nonetheless,
Yeah. Well, we got a lot of talk to talk about today, and just as quick introductions, he is Ryan O'Neill, founder and CEO of Curate, and I am Jason McIntosh, newly crowned head of growth here at Curate, and I'm really excited to be here and be a part of just everything that's going on. It's a really exciting time for Curate. We're doing a lot of great things on the development side as well as forging into new markets. And so we're just here to talk about that, talk a little bit about the history, get some content out there. And so, I'll hand it off to you, Ryan.
yeah, I'm excited about this. We've got some exciting announcements, and we wanted to have a big reveal of our platform. And so this is a perfect format for it. But first, we want to kind of start with the history of Curate and what led to what we're going to be announcing. My wife and I, we were event pros. We did event design, started in St. Louis, Missouri, and we built our company up from scratch and saw some phenomenal opportunities just to make an impact on people's weddings and special events through the work that we did. The problem was we hated the work we had to do the work that we loved. I still remember there was a kitchen table moment that we had all of these files and papers everywhere, and a Excel sheet that looked like Dr. Frankenstein had created it. Huge headache. And we said, there's got to be a better way. And so we went and built it, and we just figured out the way to be able to build it. I built the first version of Curate on a WordPress theme, and it's literally been nearly 10 years ago, which explains why I'm missing all the hair that I started with. But it's been an incredible process. We started building for the event design space. We had so many event designers and florists who said, "Hey, I hate Excel. You can go anything that could just make it simpler and more streamlined." So we started there. We saw so much success. We became the industry leader. And then we had many in the event design industry that were working for a caterer. And so we had a lot of these caterers who started coming in and saying, "Hey, we really need what you're doing. No one's innovating in the catering industry." And it was actually, we said, "Well, what kind of functionality do you need?" And the things they were asking for were the things that our current customers were already asking for. So it seemed like a perfect fit. And over the course of time, and this is what I'm so excited about today to announce, is that we realized that to take the platform to the next level, we needed to go to the next step beyond kind of this first version of the application that was built around, but Ryan, yours truly. I'm just an event pro who got stuff done, but it didn't work to scale. And so we had a lot of requests, a lot of things that customers were wanting. And we said, "Hey, we needed to rebuild the platform." So what we're going to be showing off today is a complete rebuild of the platform. There are companies that go 34 years and never rebuild their software because they kind of have built it and they can squeeze a little bit more money out of it. At Curate, that's not how we think. We've got a team who's passionate about our customers, and we know that there were things that needed to solve. So I built the first version of the application, and truth be told, we could only really have one, maybe two developers coding at one time to avoid breaking things. That's not their fault, it's mine. But we had two choices. We said, "Hey, we can make minor improvements and keep trying to sell this thing," or we could rebuild the platform entirely and really build it from the ground up in a way that can meet a lot of the needs and requests that customers are having to make their businesses better and to help their businesses grow faster. And so we knew it was going to be a multi-year process. And I've personally talked to too many people in this industry and care about their businesses for us to have said, "Well, let's just kind of squeeze a little bit more money out of it." We really care about this industry in this space. So we said, "Hey, let's do it. Let's invest the money to rebuild this platform." And as with most things, it has taken longer than we initially estimated. We were dedicated to making sure that we built the things right to our customers. And quite frankly, we missed the mark on our first go at rebuilding this thing, right? And we had to iterate. We had to learn that, as honest as I can say it, many of these people, many of you who are watching this, you're a business owner. We were making hires and we were trying to figure out how do we get people bought in and understanding the core problems that you who's watching this are facing. So we've had 8 years of learnings, and we had to do it in less than 2 years to rebuild it. So, but we've seen our team get behind the vision, and we also wanted to deliver a product that can improve for customers who were needing a scalable solution, as well as smaller customers who might not need as scalable of a solution. So
Yeah.
that said, I'm excited about it.
Yeah. So just talk to me a lot. Like, how did you come to that decision? I know there's people are comfortable with how the original Curate works, and talk a little bit about just when you've been talking to customers and their needs. Let's say with the existing platforms, how did that it all kind of builds up after time of just the problems and the pain points, but can you talk
Oh yeah.
specifically about just a couple of items that you tend to see over and over with talking people in the industry of just about like what they need and what their biggest pain points are?
Absolutely. We're seeing things like, for example, the I'm going to call it the infrastructure, or the way that we built our classic platform works really well for a very specific use case. Let's say on contracts, right? If I've got one contract that needs to be signed one time and never has revisions, that worked great until 2020, right? Then everybody had revisions and everybody had changes, and there were nuances that we never had to face before 2020 that this new market, this new era is having to face. And so the concept of having multiple contracts, or having a contract that stays signed when stuff changes in the proposal, right? Those are things that we begin to hear from people, that our classic platform and the way that it was built wasn't being flexible in a way that could impact them. Again, especially with kind of this new phase of events and this new era of events, as people are thinking through how do we move faster. We hear four key things from customers. Number one, they say, hey, we need to save time. I'm spending way too much time doing this thing. I need a quicker system that's going to automate and make things move. Another thing that we hear from people is we need more profitability. Now, that might mean I need bigger weddings. I need to be able to sell bigger weddings. It might mean, hey, I want to be more cost efficient on the investment that I'm making into things. But one way or the other, I need to make sure that my company is making the profitability that we're working so hard for. Another big thing is alignment. We hear so many people that they're growing from a solopreneur to now they have 1, 2, 3 employees. People who are growing from 5 employees to 10 employees, and there's these handoffs that have to start happening, and they're really tough to do without a system and a central source of truth. And so people are saying, hey, we need a central source of truth to align them. And the last big thing is just giving people confidence. I tell the story. So many people they are working on this proposal and they're wanting to send it out, but they don't want to send it out. But they know they told the person they're going to send it out by Thursday night, and they submit it and they send it to them, and they just don't feel good about the way it looks, about the way that their company is presented. And just when they're about to fall asleep and they finally get it out of their mind, they wake up and they realize, oh shoot, what if they've signed with me? Am I actually going to make money off of this thing? And so like that confidence and not being able to have confidence and just go on their day-to-day journey as a business owner was a really important thing.
That's awesome. Thanks for touching on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're open to it, I think we can kind of jump into looking at the platform.
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome, cool. So what y'all are about to see is the share my screen here. Y'all are about to see, we call it C2 or Curate 2, or just Curate if you're looking for it. But all new customers come into this on this platform. And first off, I'm going to kick off though with our mission. This has been a big piece of our focus that I mentioned. Hey, getting our team on the same page about what we're doing. Curate, we're here to empower people to easily connect all of the pieces of their small business. And that's everything from proposal to production to profitability. They need to connect all those pieces. And that's what we're excited about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into first kind of a high level overview of our system. And it's going to be in our new system, just for those who are new. Maybe you've never seen or heard about Curate before. And then I'm going to jump into some nuances that I know, we've got hundreds and thousands of people who use Curate every single day that are going to be super excited about. So first off, this is, as Curate, we help with the proposals, the production, the profitability. So you can see this is one of the proposals in Curate. We have the ability for customers to see photos, have color palettes, have details about the event. You can be able to see, if you want a link, you can be able to put links in here. You've got the ability to have inspiration boards. You could be able to have items in here. You can click on photos to make them larger or to see them. It's all mobile friendly. So, if you want to create a PDF out of this, I like to say you can do that. For those who love their content, I get internal documents, but a lot of people, they love to have the proposal PDF. You totally can do that. But probably the most powerful thing is that we give you a portal link. And this customized link is something that customers can keep going back to every single time, even if it's 18 months from now, and they always get the most up-to-date proposal. So you've got the ability to have a lot of pieces and components to this. One thing that I found that a lot of people love is our possibility section. You have the ability to add possibilities to upsell clients on something to give them a deeper and more rich experience at your event. You've got the ability to have payments down here where clients can literally pay directly from the proposal. It's 2024, y'all, but I promise, like, it's amazing how many people still don't have a fluid, easy process for the customer. And you've got the ability to even have your contracts here for customers to be able to have. On the inside, you've got the ability to have your order. Now, again, this isn't a new user interface, so I'm gonna kind of break it down a little bit more in kind of the next section. But you've got the ability to have your order here, where you can see I've got this end of summer party, I've got my order, and here are the components of my order. I've got a section here called menu or called, personals or whatever you want to call that, you can call it. And this has a click out button where you can be able to see the components that are involved in this particular item. So in this case, I have actually two recipes. I've got a recipe here, I've got a recipe here. I can be able to have items that are rentals and equipment. So if I'm like, hey, yeah, let's do, 100, no, let's do, I think maybe 5 will do it for us here. No, let's do 100. Let's 100 and yeah, there we go. I have an alert that pops up and says, hey, just a heads up, you're overbooked on this. One of the things I think so many of our customers for many years who've loved our overbooked feature will be excited about is this actually stays up here. The alert stays up here, giving you an alert and creating a quick and easy place for you to see anything in your event that's overbooked. So that's an important thing. But you have the ability to say, hey, what if I have equipment, that I need to make sure I'm bringing, but it's not really tied to the quantity of the line item. You can actually unlink that and be able to have, say, for instance, this chafing dish. We only need one of these for the entire event. We've got the ability as well to take inquiries. Customers can literally fill out this information. It goes directly into the platform and makes it so much simpler and streamlined. You've got the ability to have all of your events in a really modern and easy to use experience. And even things like having your calendar in here and being able to see what items are on your calendar and have customizable text in terms of that calendar. So there's a lot to it, but we're excited about being able to make this impact. And this is what we do. That said, there we get to the fun part. So a lot of customers who are probably on the call right now are maybe your current customers of Curate. You have heard a lot about this platform. We've been building it for 2 years. It's been really, really important for us that we listen to feedback. And I literally just 2 nights ago was looking at kind of a list of all the feedback we've ever gotten on Curate, and I'm excited to share a few things that have been made possible because of the rebuild. So one of the things that we'll hop into first, we hear from a lot of people, they're saying, hey, I don't like having to go into each event every single time and having to print, hop back out, go select the new event and print. One of the things people will be really excited about is you have the ability now to select multiple events and go and create event prints for all 4 of these events from the same spot. You don't have to go in and out. But more importantly than that, let's actually jump into one of those prints. You have the ability to customize these prints to how you would like them. So right now in Curate Classic, many people would go in, they would print their print overview. Then they would have to hop out of that. They would have to go into another file to print maybe their recipe sheet. We have compacted all of that printing experience into a streamlined flow. So you now have a print right here. I can see right here, here's my Kelsey and Drew wedding. I've got this bridal bouquet. I've got the components that are making up those ingredients that are making up that bridal bouquet. But I'm going to come in here and I'm going to, maybe I don't want the price on there for whatever reason. The team who's delivering this, they don't really need that price on there. I'm going to remove that price and it immediately removes that price. Super seamless. You've got the ability to make sure you're getting all the details into there, and it's really streamlined. The coolest part, though, is you can actually save this print type. So you can now, and we have heard so many customers who've asked for this. They're like, oh, I wish I could just save my settings of my recipe sheet or of my shopping. I manipulate stuff. I just want to save those settings so I don't have to redo this every single time. That's available now. You can be able to have a different, a different number of these print types and saved prints. And this can happen across 4, 10 events. If you're doing 2 events on a weekend, it's a big weekend for you, and you just want to kind of print all the documents you need. It's one printing experience. We just released just 2 days ago this other thing I want to show as well, which is this ability for you to be able to have your ingredient totals built into one experience, and that can be filterable. So if you're saying, hey, I just want my flours or I just want my hard goods, a big thing I've heard from a lot of our customers, I was just at Flowers Good Green, one of our customers in Chicago, incredible company. And I was chatting with their warehouse people, and they said, wow, what we'd really love is just the ability to have one print that includes both hard goods and rental and equipment items. And that's now possible as of 2 days ago. It's been super exciting. We did the math on it. We've literally done just this year alone over 50 feature releases in the new platform. And this is one of them we're excited about. Another one that we have a lot of people who flip over is we have a new color picker tool where you can now pull in a photo. You still have the same great drag and drop from Pinterest and grab exactly the right shade of green that you need. And that will populate directly there. It makes it so simple, so straightforward to make sure that you're getting a color palette that reflects the experience that your customers are hoping, and it sets the tone for kind of the direction of the proposal. So it's a very, very powerful tool that we know a lot of customers are excited about. To the point of 2020 and some of the complexities and nuances of 2020. We heard it loud and clear. Customers who've given us feedback, 2020, everybody was hunkered down. Finally, 2022 came around, and we had so many events that are coming in, and that's when we started implementing some of these pieces. But you now have the ability to have multiple contracts built into the same portal. So let's say that you have a rentals contract or a floral contract. One of our customers is a barbecue company, and they said, hey, how we want to use this is we want to have a core contract, but we also want to have a delivery confirmation contract. And all of their drivers go out with iPads, and they just have the customer literally sign on the contract directly from there. And so what they've done is they found a really nuanced, powerful way to incorporate this. Huge impact for a lot of customers. Customers have been begging for this, and customers will love this. If a contract is signed, that contract stays signed throughout the course of the event. So now it has the ability to keep that signature, retain that signature. It is truly a contract by itself, but it stays signed. If you'd like a new contract, great, you can do that. And let me show you how. And this is what one of our customers who just migrated the other day just flipped out about too. She was so excited. You can actually go straight to a contract library of all of the different contracts that you have, right? So if you want to keep all your old contracts, you can do it. If you want to add a new one, you can do that. If there's a contract that you have for a gala versus a contract that you have for a wedding, you have that ability to pull these in ad hoc without having to build it as a part of a larger template. Super powerful. We've seen some great feedback from customers who already migrated, and we're in the midst of doing that. Something else that's really fun here is you have the ability to be able to put in here an actual amount for the event value. Now, this is a token. So many of you who are familiar with tokens and personalization tokens, if you want to say the value of this event is, or the contracted amount of this will automatically generate that event value directly into this contract, which is, again, a big request that customers have had. A couple of the things I want to show you are in the order experience here. Now, we have created a more streamlined experience. My wife and I, a few years ago, we were doing an event at the Carnival Room in St. Louis, huge wedding, and I went through and I counted just one of the pieces. We did this really large installation. I just counted just on that pieces. I said, how many people have touched this? How many times have we touched these things throughout the flow of this event? And literally on that one installation, there were 100,000 touches. 100,000 times that we grabbed, chopped, moved, separated, tied together, that we touched it. So there's a lot of nuances to how these pieces move throughout an organization and for the people that execute these events. So this system is built in a way that makes it streamlined for that. So for us, you've got the ability in here to have things like multiple recipes. Let's say that you've got on this head table, I've got a big bomb arrangement, but I also got a lowy flowy arrangement, right? I've got that ability to have 2 separate recipes for that. which is a really powerful tool for customers who have kind of a more nuanced item that they a way that they want to approach that. You've got the ability to have rentals in here. I showed a little bit of that off earlier, but you could be able to, if you accidentally overbook this, if you put 30 right here, it's going to do that little pop up, make sure that it lets you know, hey, we've got too many of these booked. Because this is multiplying this one of this gold compo, multiplying it by 4, and then that's also, yeah, so it's running that math up the chain to make sure that you're getting the right amount built into there. Something as well, one more thing before kind of a bigger announcement that I want to announce is you have the ability to actually even put photos on sections now. So you could be able to have kind of like a mini inspiration board on every single section that the customer has. So I know this has been a lot, y'all. There's so much more baked into here. As I said, in the past 3.5 months, 4 months, we have been able to deliver over 50 new features into the platform, and we're keeping going with some future things. So I'm excited. Jason, what are your thoughts? Like before we get into the bigger announcement, just want to take a step back and see if there's anything I missed.
Yeah. So one thing I just wanted to ask. Do you mind putting your camera back on just for a second?
Oh yeah, for sure.
One thing that I just wanted to ask was a little bit about this kind of the state of the development team, let's say. Because, and I'm new, but coming on, it just seems like our development team right now is very streamlined, and everybody in the Curate team is really rallying behind these new markets that we're going into. And this speaks a lot to kind of going back and excuse the term, but reinventing the wheel, but reinventing the program, is that our ability is to be flexible in the markets that we're going after are incredible. And to speak on this a little bit more, it just seems like we're able to adjust off the cuff a lot of times, no matter what market it is. We're known for our florists and floral event customers. For the last amount of time, we're actually going into catering, and so like talking about that multiple recipe thing is a huge win for caterers that are on our system as well. But we even had that discussion this morning about just nomenclature. And can you talk a little bit about the current markets for Curate and kind of the goals for the future as to bringing in even more markets?
Yeah. Well, our heartbeat, we come out of the event space. My wife and I started it just again in a small business that was doing event design. And as we started to grow, we saw a huge impact and a huge ability to be able to help a lot more customers who maybe fit our profile of design or even more fluid types of design companies. And then as we did that starting in 2019, 2020, which is a great year to do this, 2020. But we started moving into that question of like, hey, how do we start helping caterers and making an impact in the catering industry who I've been to so many of their warehouses, and their warehouses look a lot like on my wife and I's warehouse. It's got a lot of decor and design components to it. So what we realized is that it was the same problems that were being faced by these small businesses. They were the same exact problem. And I say that with a tongue in cheek. There's nuances to every industry, every specific, but when you get down to how to build a software to solve those, you can choose to build really, really specific niche problems, but that always gets you into trouble, even with the same customers you're trying to help. And so what we found is that a lot of customers, both floral and catering, have been burned by customizable software that's like, oh yeah, you can come in and our team will go and customize it for you. We'll configure it for you. And it works great. And it sounds great for about 6 months until you get to this point where the thing that they fixed for you and made better for you starts breaking with an update that is trying to happen on the platform. So for us, a big focus and our heartbeat has been to say, hey, how do we build, instead of customizable software, how do we build configurable software where people can configure it in the way that matches their business? So, we see other types of companies like venues that are showing a lot of interest in this. And our focus is really asking these questions around, hey, what are these common problems that are facing? And it's the coolest story, Jason, because like I still remember one of our florists referred a caterer to join our software. They joined, they did phenomenal, just blew it up. The great caterer, very well known in the industry. About 6 months later, that caterer sent an email to one of our team members that says, hey, I want to introduce you to my floral friend. they need a software. And it was this full circle moment where it's like the place we started at, we found this opportunity to help more people, and those people are going back and helping the same core group of people that we've been so excited to help. So it's kind of cool to see those full circle moments of people referring us and sharing it, and the features that we're building are the same things that people have been asking. And I know we got our big announcement here in a second. Y'all will see, you'll see what I mean by this, but it's the same thing that a lot of people have been asking for so many years.
Yeah, and again, I can't stress enough the investment that goes into recreating the system, like you said. But a lot of times, these customers that we are helping out are on older software, and older software, as time goes on, things start to break. When you try to do a new way of doing things rather than the old way, and even in the data structure and the architecture of their applications, you have to put that investment back in. And so we've seen some cases of people coming over to us that they're doing some functionalities and things are breaking now, and they have to do some workarounds in the old software to get their stuff working. And so the ability that we've had to just kind of, what's the word that we always talk about, just piece by piece in our software,
Oh yeah.
so that we don't have to go back and what's the word? I'm not even thinking of it.
Yeah, modular. Like we build a modular
Modularization.
software.
Yeah. And so
Yeah,
that's been a huge step forward in what we're doing. So you can go ahead and
absolutely.
reshare and talk about the other functionality.
Yeah, and while I'm doing that, I want to make a comment to what you said. There was one of the a software that many of the largest event companies in the U.S. were using last year that got ransomware, and they didn't have access to their events for 2 or 3 days because it was a very old tool, and it had, I'm sure, been dependable for many years, but that's the thing that we want to make sure that we're consistently asking the question of, like, are we building tools that are up to par for what's expected? And that said, I've heard for so many years this concept. So many people have asked, they've said, hey, if only, Curate and some other tool could have a baby. That's the framing that I always think, is just have a baby, because we need everything that we have in Curate, but we also need the ability to communicate better with our customers and to maintain that communication and keep up with that communication. So I wanted to announce here for the very first time something that's going to be launching in the next month and a half, which is our communication portal. And we're so excited about this because we know so many customers have asked. It's the number one requested feature, and really, like, this feature that I'm about to show is one of the core reasons why we felt the need to say, hey, we have to rebuild the platform to be able to make way for having enough developers on our team to build things like this. So this is a mock-up of our proposal experience. And so you can see right here, we have a new comments tab, similar to what everyone just saw. But I'm going to now pop over there to that comments tab. And let's look at some of the comments that are in this particular proposal. So we can see that there is a communication flow that's beginning to happen here across both of these different people who are leaving comments on this. The first phase of this that we're releasing is going to be able to allow people to have comments left on this so that they can be able to make sure that they're aligned with their customer. They can communicate things maybe that it doesn't fit for being communicated inside the proposal, but you want it to be alongside of it. This brings all of that communication into a single flow. And with our first launch of this, we're going to launch with as we're releasing this piece by piece, it's going to have the ability for customers to literally email back, and that email that they send back goes directly into the platform, and it also gets emailed to you. So you have that ability to kind of cover both those bases. You have your own email system. If you would like to manage that and maintain that, that's been a big thing we've heard from so many people. They're like, I don't want to log into somewhere else to go look at my emails. I just want to look at my emails. But it also empowers your team. I was just chatting with a pro the other day who was saying, hey, if somebody got with COVID, right, or if somebody is sick, or they take a job at another company, we don't want to lose all of that valuable, important information about this customer's event. Now this is put into a central spot. Um, every one of our plans comes with a Sales Pro user attached to it, which means that you get this ability to engage and interact with customers. And so it'll be available for every account that has an account with us. And if you have more salespeople that are needing to have this interaction, you'll be able to get sales seats for them as well, and that will actually come with this ability to own this. But even if you're just a user of the platform, if you're not on the sales team, you still got access to see this and to understand the context if that's how you'd like to set it up. So it's very, very powerful. It's going to be a really, really streamlined and powerful way to make sure you're communicating with your customers. And truth be told, it's the number one requested feature of our customers. So we're going to release it, and then we want feedback. If you're already on our new platform, we'd love to have you give us feedback on it. If you're going to be migrating soon, whenever you get migrated over, we'd love to get feedback on this feature and ways that we can improve it. So we're excited about that. I know this maybe for internally, I think maybe we're more excited about the next announcement, Jason, that you're going to have. But this is a big thing that I know that our customers have been really asking for.
Yeah, for sure. And, Curate already does a really great job of saving our customers time. And so I can only see that amping up more and more as we continue to release these game-changing features, for Curate and for the customers that we support. So Ryan talked about it a little bit, just talking about how overwhelmingly we have a positive attitude from our customers about our software. And so one of the things that we're going to do to provide some incentives to do that from our customers is something that we're calling the Curate affiliate program. So pretty big program announcement that we're doing, and we're just starting this out, so we're going to work out the kinks as it kind of goes along over the next couple of weeks. But if you are a Curate user, even if you're not a Curate user, but maybe you're in the industries that we support, we're going to be creating an affiliate program. And so what that means for our customers is the ability to go to a link and sign up to be an affiliate. If you're familiar with how an affiliate program works, basically you are referring our software to customers for them to come and sign up to use Curate. And as a part of that, you will receive an affiliate ID, and you will have some pre-made links in your profile once you sign up to be an affiliate. And basically, you're going to earn a percentage of the subscription fee that those that you refer pay for. So if you think about it and you look at Curate's pricing, you're going to get a few $100s per sale, depending on the type of subscription that your referrals pay for. We have both annual and monthly subscriptions with Curate. And if they're going to do an annual subscription, they're going to get 35% back one time on that annual subscription. So I believe our lowest tier is something like $12.50 or something like that right now. So you're looking at $300-$400 just in one sale, just providing a link to someone. So don't just think of it like it's a direct link. Like, you can create blogs, link it, you can add it to your YouTube videos, you can add it literally anywhere that people are on the internet. They could
Facebook forums.
Right,
Everybody's
right,
talking on Facebook forums.
right, everywhere. And then for monthly subscriptions, you'll get 35% for the first month, and then 10% affiliate referral ongoing, which is could add up after a while. It could make it your own side hustle, your own side salary if you wanted to. So we're really excited about that. And to do that affiliate sign up, you can go to this link here. It's tinyurl.com/curate now and sign up for the Curate affiliate program. It will provide you an email to sign up, and you can see your information in that profile. So we're super excited. There'll be a lot more information coming on the website and through socials, etc. But we're really excited about this program. We think it will not only benefit those that currently enjoy our software, but just an incentive again for referring other customers to our platform.
Kudos to Jason as well for putting this together. I was questioning him. I was like, man, that's a huge kind of like kickoff amount that we're doing. So I think he's convinced me to do it as a kickoff amount, because it's a really, really big referral amount. But for us, and Jason and I joke about this, but we'd rather be paying our community and investing the money back into our people, if you will, rather than putting it into some paid search tool that isn't really a part of our community. So we're excited about this, and that's why we're coming out of the gate so strong with it.
Yeah. All right, Ryan. Well, a good first show. We're going to try to do this on a somewhat regular basis. Not so much talking about Curate as though that will be a part of every show, but we're going to be talking about the industry problems, pain points, things that we're seeing with our customers, and hopefully providing value back to you as to watching this, and hopefully things that you can apply to your business. So, Ryan, thanks so much for going through all the functionality, putting the work in for this, and putting the investment back into Curate. I just think this is going to be huge for those that come on board, subscribe, and save time, money, and effort when it comes to working with their own customers and clients.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll see you again.